on my way to an interview for what will be my third job, because no one's son wants to step up to the plate, and I have expensive taste. My question is, why? Why me? What did I do? I don't want a girl boss. I don't have kids. I don't want to go as hard.
You want to know why the bar scene is dying? Take a look around. Men on elevated surfaces.
Why do men in the gym feel like they can't approach women in the gym? Like, what's going on? I heard some gym bro saying it's automatic law that you should not approach a female in the gym. I don't want nobody who don't go to the gym. So that's why we really got to address this issue, because if you're not a creep or you got good intentions, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to approach a female at the gym. Yeah, I have my moments when I'm in my zone, but like if you see me on a break and you want to tell me I look good or that you see them gains, like do that. Worst case scenario is I say hell no, and then we end up gym bro, gym sis for life. You know what I'm saying? I think nowadays men are too fragile, too afraid of rejection. Approach the gym girlies. Approach the gym girlies. If you're not a creep, it's okay to approach us, okay?
I guess I'm still stuck on the woman saying men need to step up so I can relax, so I can stop going as hard. Why don't y'all approach the gym girlies? How come y'all don't approach us in the bar? I don't know. Because we don't want to bill? That could be it. Just saying.
Okay, so to all the men in my comment section saying that they don't ask women out anymore because they think they're going to be labeled as creepy or they're going to go straight to jail. I mean, that's okay. Let's not, first of all, generalize entire group of people. No one should ever do that about any group of people. Number one. Number two, if you're totally happy, like not being with a woman again, that's like totally fine. Like go live in your peace. But if you're someone that does want to be with a woman, it does need to be talked about. Clearly, there are a lot of men that feel like women have been like mean to them, or like they think they're gonna like go to jail if they ask them out. I mean, there are a few very important questions here. How are you walking up to women? What are you saying? What are you doing? Now, if you're just like a nice guy who's genuinely just interested in someone, you're walking up to them and you're asking them out, and a girl lashes out on you, yeah, that's not cool. And that's where women are part of the problem. So the comments would be a little more insightful if you know, it didn't just say like, all women suck, we don't try anymore. That's really just not gonna help anything unless you genuinely just don't care. So if you could comment on how to bridge the gap better, then that would be awesome. A lot of you are saying like, well, women, you ask us out too. Right, but like also just as you're saying that we should be able to ask you out, you should also equally be able to ask us out. And at the end of the day, I do think this all comes back to confidence. I think it does.
I feel like I always tell men to put themselves out there more and hit on women more and like approach women more, but honestly, y'all pick the worst times, okay? So tonight, it happened to be my little package delivery guy. Like, sir, you know my exact apartment number. You know where I live. What do you mean you're gonna hit on me at my door as I'm like looking through my phone to get you the code, and then after I give you the code, you continue doing so and will not leave? Like, do you know how creepy that is? You were at my doorstep. I need to be really, really nice to you right now because I don't want to be on Netflix's next Ted Bundy documentary about the mailman. Because I was rejecting him. Like,
I feel like it's like a catch-22, because I mean, this is the only way that he sees you. He's probably not going to see you anywhere outside of that. So I definitely understand how you feel. But then, you know, yeah, I get where you're coming from. But for him, he's probably like, hey, like to get to know you. Is that all right? And, you know, he's essentially online being, you know, low-key shamed for might be a creep. You might be a creep, you know, so you kind of wonder why men don't approach. You had a woman talking about why don't men approach me in the gym. You had a woman talking about why are men standing on elevated spaces? That's for the girls. Why are they not approaching us? Why is nobody giving us attention? Well, I mean, you know, you might have a valid point here, but in general, men are finding that modern women, you can't approach them anywhere. You say, I'm fine with you approaching me at a dog park. I'm fine with you approaching me outside or at a grocery store. But we've seen countless women get on the app and say exactly the opposite. And it becomes really confusing. It becomes a mathematical equation that really nobody has time to figure out.
So, girls who want to be stay-at-home girlfriends or wives, you go from working 6 to 8 hours a day, 5 days a week on average, to working 0 hours a day. How many hours a day do you now put into making your relationship work? For many, sadly, it's none. And I think that's the problem with today's generation in society. Your man replaces your 6 to 8 hours of work a day. So you should invest those 6 to 8 hours into your man, your kids, making your household look nice, cooking him meals, supporting him, giving him massages, because you just freed up all of that time. Why not invest it in the person that allowed you to do that?
I feel like the thing about dating in New York is that it's never the guys that you're into that like give the energy that would be cute. Like I was on the subway yesterday and I was minding my own business, I was reading, and as I look up at some random point, this guy is like handing me a business card, and I was like, oh no. Like at first I thought it was like a mistake and he was like promoting something, and I was like, oh no. And then he's like, and I was like, oh, okay. So then I took it, and he like got off the train, and on the back it said like, hi, my name is so-and-so, my number's so-and-so, would love to take you out. And like, that is so cute, but I did not find him attractive. And I feel like that's like the story of my life. Like it's always the guys that like I just don't have any interest in, but it was very cute. And I feel like that's a good motivation to men to like keep hitting on girls, even if they don't like feed into it back. Like, get out there. And I was telling my friend this story, and we were talking about how like we wish that guys were more like bold. Like I feel like guys are nowadays just like afraid to go up to any girl, but it is appreciated. And I get that it's like scary because you might get rejected, like there's a good chance, you never know, but I do support the men asking out girls. I think it's a lost art right now, and everybody can use it, especially in the world of like Hinge and dating apps. It's rough out here.
I feel like this is going to be your life for a long, long time. I mean, a guy, best friend, he sends you flowers just because. This is what you're up against, men. This is what you're up against. Never being enough. Never, ever being enough. Modern women getting attention for no reason. Well, if he's going to do that for me, then, you know, I really don't want you. The man gave you a card. He was very, well, I'm not interested in him. It's never the person that she wants. Do you know why that is? Probably because he doesn't have to do all of this stuff. He doesn't have to be involved with all of this stuff. And you'd accept the bare minimum from him. But guys have to go above and beyond. That was a really good move by him. But he got no play out of it. Because once again, well, you know, story of my life, he's not attractive. I'm looking for a man that's, well, he looked good in the face, but you know, he was too short. Or I didn't like the color of his shoes. Well, you know, continue to be single.
Have made it so increasingly difficult and uncomfortable for men to approach us.
Yeah, it's not the women who made it difficult. It's the aliens. Yeah, the aliens. Definitely.
I think I'm a little bit confused on who you're calling an alien. You know what I mean? Like, do they see themselves? Do they know what they look like?
Guys, there are a lot of women that want to say yes when you approach them. But if you give them zero context, zero data, the answer most likely will be a no. Let me explain. And yes, attraction, of course, does play a factor. Real life example, I was in Target yesterday. Gentleman approached me. He asked me my name. He asked me if I was single. He then said, I'd love to take you to dinner. Can I have your number? He wasn't a bad looking guy, but the answer was no. I had no context about him as a person. In my nervous system, I did not feel safe enough to give him my personal information. And I also didn't want to coach him right then and there either. I said, no, thank you. So next time you approach women in real life, give them a little data about yourself. Remember reciprocity. You ask her a question, give her some information back. Save this for your next interaction in the wild.
Dude in the comments said, if they are attracted to you, the answer will always be yes, regardless of context or data. It's just like, and this is what it really is. Modern women like to get on here and talk. They like to say a bunch of stuff. Really, you get to the point to where you actually start to believe that modern women just like hearing themselves talk. They're not going to give you any new information. They're not going to give you information that you can use. They're just going to say a bunch of stuff and hope that it works. Just hope that's what you need to hear. And it's not going to work. Every blue moon, it might work. And, you know, that's kind of what they build their courses and businesses off of. But a lot of these modern women are suffering. We know that they're suffering. I mean, obviously, you know, you've got your career and your money and things of that nature, but you really want a man and you're not getting approached because you're not pleasant to be around. Well, you've got to be attractive and I want you to do this. I want you to do that. I want you to do X, Y, and Z. Just a whole list of stuff. And at some point in time, men are like, you know what? I have to do all of this stuff. You know, I have to pay for you. I have to pay you to like me is essentially what I have to audition for you while you literally do nothing. You can literally get 2 or 3 free dinners out of me and then say, oh, you're a nice guy, but it's not for me. And you could start and continue to do that endlessly. And society won't even bat an eye because that's what you're supposed to be doing as a woman is, you know, seeing what's the best option for you. I would submit to society that at some point in time, these modern women need to get better at who they're picking and choosing. Like he said, you'll have all of these rules and standards and all of these words of wisdom and advice for the men. But a man that you actually find attractive and you like, he literally has to do none of that. I think what people are saying is you don't have the consistency. You don't have the same standard across the board, which makes it confusing and hard to listen to and follow your advice.
Why are men not intimidated by lesbian women hitting on their girl?
Well, if it's a swinging contest, we're gonna win. A lot of masked lesbians are insecure. Look what Ellen has done to her last 2 girlfriends. Anne Hesh made her cut her hair and quit her job. Portia de Rossi, same thing. Cut her hair, quit her job, and now made her move to London. And she does that so guys find them less hot.
Ooh, so she can keep them for herself.
Exactly.
My barber is kind of like a stud. And, you know, she doesn't really get into this whole, oh, well, I'm better than a man. You know, she said, man, I've had some times where women I've been dating or I've been seeing, they tried to get me to, you know, kind of go up against a man. And I said, heck no, I'm a girl. Heck no, I'm a girl. I'm not doing that. I don't want no man hitting on me. Now, if I have to, and if I have to defend myself, then I will. But I'm not just going to be out there picking fights with men. I'm absolutely not going to do it.
So I went to the gym this morning and not one single guy stopped and said hello or spoke to me this morning. Now guys, if you're at the gym and you see a middle-aged woman, like at least stop to say hello because this is maybe the only social time she gets today.
Story time. So I'm behind the bar. This lady comes in, she sits down. She's got her scrubs on. So she's in the nursing industry, whatever. She sits down, she gets a drink. I said, do you want to start a tab or do you want to close it out? She was like, I'm going to give you my card, but I'm not paying. I was like, oh, I don't know what that means, but okay. So I put her card on file. She said, I'm waiting for somebody. This guy shows up like 5 minutes later and he sits down. They kind of half hug. So they know each other, but they don't know each other. You know what I mean? It's not like a first date, but I don't know. Could be. Maybe a second date. Anyway, she's in scrubs, fresh off work. He looked like he just came from the gym. They're having like kind of first date conversation where the phrase, and I hate this phrase, people say it all the time, well, I'm the type of person, but the thing about me is, whatever the fuck, that's some first date shit. Anyway, they're talking. Every time he's talking, she's into it. She's engaged. When he comes in, he gets a drink. I asked if he wanted to start a tab. He said, yeah, he gave me his card. Now I have both their cards on file. They're there for like an hour and a half. He's ready to close out. He was like, hey, my man, can I get the bill? I said, yeah. I gave him his card. He closed out. It was in the middle of him telling a story, right? He closed out. He's talking to her. Once she saw that he paid his tab, that's the only one he knew about, her whole mood shifted. She was just like uninterested in anything he had to say. She didn't really give a fuck about his story. She was just so focused on the how dare.
You know, one of the women in the comments was saying, you know, why would you not assume that you need to pay for her drink? She was there for you. Like, she wouldn't have been there unless it was for you. They were there for each other. You know, a man wouldn't have been there either had he not been meeting her. He said, hey, do you want to meet? She was like, yeah, for sure. That's because she saw potential and he saw potential, which is why he approached. So it's a mutual thing, right? So nobody needs to be put on a pedestal. That's how we start problems straight off the bat. Another thing I'll say is she could have closed out that tab before he got there. I mean, modern women continue to tell us how good they are at communication, how they're looking for a man with communication. But she just completely went out of the conversation. That could have been her time to make a little joke about it and to say, oh, you're not gonna pay for, oh, are you gonna leave me hanging? You're not gonna pay for? Because as soon, it wasn't that he didn't want to pay, it was that he didn't know. She could have closed out her tab because she got a drink before he got there. Now, if a man was up in arms and said, you got a drink before I got here, I'm not paying for nothing, da 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 da. There's modern women, well, why do you say that? Because there's modern women that get on here and they say, oh, he got a drink and he was sitting down when I came in there. He didn't even wait for me. Well, you didn't wait for him either, right? But of course you got women in the comments thinking that the woman is totally right, thinking that she's right on multiple different fronts. Now, there are some women, and I'm glad about this, in the comments that are on his side and saying, well, you know, I wouldn't assume that anybody would pay for me. I would probably bring my own money and pay my own tab. Appreciate that. That's the adult, that's the mature thing to do. You obviously want the man to pay, but always have money for yourself. Don't ever walk into that bar broke. You don't want yourself looking like an idiot, right? So I honestly think a lot of these modern women need to be taught how to communicate. Like I said, you can throw a joke out there and he'll get to it. He'll catch on. Oh, shoot, man, I didn't know that. And you're going to have a lot more of that in a relationship, which by the way that you acted, you're definitely not ready. There's a lot of things in relationships, especially in marriage, you're going to have to laugh off. You're going to have to break the tension because you're really upset about it. But if you stay mad all day and you can't move past it, there's going to be problems and tension, and it's going to erode away your relationship over time, over something very small. The thing is a small thing. Like, the thing that happened is small. It over time becomes your pride. Over time, it becomes your ego. And this is a test for you to see how you handle that. And you, honestly and truly, in my opinion, you failed. You should have communicated with him, like I said. Maybe throw out a joke out there. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. She's with me. Because that's exactly what he did. That's exactly what he did. He paid for his stuff. He wasn't thinking, he was just listening to what she was saying. Or he was talking, whatever it was. He was engaging with her. And so when somebody hears it, I kind of do the same thing. When somebody gives you, I'm not really paying attention. I already know I'm going to pay the bill. So when somebody gives it to me, unless it's like a birthday or something like that, like a special occasion, I'm just taking, oh yeah, for sure. And taking out my card and giving it to the waitress or the waiter or whoever it is. And then just kind of listening, right? I'm not really paying attention to that. That might've been what he was doing. So when the bartender comes over and says, now to the lady, do you want to close out as well? He said, oh shoot, I'm sorry. Put her on mine. He went on ahead and took care of it. But this type of stuff where you're not saying anything, I'm telling you right now, I'm not joking with you. It's going to come back to bite you in the behind real hard. This is the type of stuff, you might not believe it, that lands you in divorce court every single time.
Hey, this one's for the men. Can we please, for the love of all things holy, bring back old-fashioned chivalry? Can we please bring back something as simple as opening a door for somebody? When you see somebody carrying a box through the door, struggling, hurts her hand because she's struggling not to drop this box, and you're just standing there staring, not helping? What is this? What is this? Men, listen, we need to do better. And by we, I mean you. You all need to do better, and we need some good old-fashioned chivalry back in this world. All of us ladies will be very much appreciative. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Modern women, once again, always have the ability to tell men what they need to be doing. We need to get better. We already know who you're talking to. We already know who you're talking about. We, as a collective, no, you mean us. We need to get better. When you see a woman doing this, when you see her struggling, and we should be able to, like I said in the last clip, no communication going on. They expect you to do everything for them, but then they catch an attitude. Modern women don't want to do anything for you at all, but they want you to do everything for them. That's the problem I have. You're not my mother. You're not my grandmother. You're not my daughter. You're nobody to me. So the fact that you think that you can get on here and preach to me about stuff that I need to do is crazy. It's wild. Chivalry is dead. It's not. Like somebody in the comments said, it's just reserved for the people who deserve it. It's reserved for the people who deserve it. And a lot of modern women make it a habit out of being a jerk. Kind of like you're being right now.
You know, sometimes I feel bad for men. Bear with me. Men don't have rituals in the same way that women do. And there are exceptions to this rule, but let me tell you what I mean. So, men don't do like the everything shower. We're lucky if they're not using like a 3-in-1. And when it comes to like getting ready to go out, that is like my favorite part of the night, because that is a ritual. All of your girls in the bathroom, listening to music, doing your makeup, sharing your glitter, doing outfits. Here, try on my top. Men just like don't get to do that. And the everything shower, I think about this often. Every time I'm doing like my body scrub and like my coconut oil, men aren't. Like, we're genuinely happy if they remember to put on like Eucerin. I would love to hear the male perspective on this and understand if they have rituals that aren't necessarily centered around like drinking, because of course they have like a pregame thing that they're doing. But is there any like rituals centered around connection that men get to experience that I'm just unaware of?
Modern women feel like they're so superior to men for whatever reason. I don't know how they do it. In between their boss babe schedule, how do you sit around and figure out how you're so much better? We're so much better because we use a 67 ingredient body scrub that exfoliates, it double exfoliates, it triple exfoliates, and that's why we're better than men. We use a face scrub that triple scribble dipple exfoliates, and that's why our skin is so clear. Do y'all have anything better to do? What's y'all's rituals? What do y'all like to do? I don't know. I see golf, kind of sit around and drink. I mean, my God, y'all be talking about what do y'all like to do? Our rituals are so they're so deep and they're so meaningful. Sitting in the restroom, putting on makeup like little girls, listening to music, trying on each other's clothing. What is that? That's not really a lot of anything. We take everything showers. So basically you mean shaving everything. A man doesn't care about that. I don't need to shave everything on my body. It's not that important. I can manage and maintain myself without having to shave everything down. I wash my hair, I wash my face, I wash my body, and I get out of the shower. That's it. Y'all like to complicate things, and you get mad when a man lives the simple life. That's really what it is for a lot of these modern women. They get mad that a man is just relatively simple. In and out. Clean, deodorant, cologne, nice fresh clothing, get something to eat. The simple life.
Make my coffee with me while I talk about why I deleted Hinge. I feel like a few years ago, the dating apps maybe were a little bit better because you would actually go out on dates. And now I feel like men have gotten lazy and they no longer take women on dates. They just want to message them, feel like they have some kind of companionship. But as far as the date goes, usually it doesn't even make it to that anyways. 2, the are we dating the same guy in whatever city you're in has ruined
dating in this generation. It just has. I'm thankful we have that because it saves a lot of women from toxic individuals if they're telling the truth. That's another thing. I have a hard time reading a lot of the stuff on there because I don't know if it's even all true. But either way, every time you might be interested in somebody and then you check and see if they're on there, 7 out of 10 times I'd say they're on there. And then it just ruins it. And you're like, oh wow, okay. The one person I'm interested in out of the 100 people that I wasn't interested in is on this Are We Dating the Same Guy? And lastly, the small talk on dating apps is single-handedly one of the worst things ever. I feel like I wasted so much time just having small talk because I'm the type of person, like, I go off energy. Like, we need to be in front of each other. I need to see how you are, how you interact, because you can say anything through a screen. So the amount of wasted time on those apps, just absolutely not. So those are the reasons I deleted Hinge. I don't know how the other dating apps go because I wasn't on them, but those are my reasons why I deleted it. Have a great day.
I hate to say this to you because I really don't want to insult you, but like, you're not any different from the modern women out here. I go off of energy, just like a lot of these modern women. It's like, well, I like to see them face to face over dinner, over an expensive dinner, preferably. And once again, you guys, well, that's why the group is there. To be honest with you, it's aptly named. It's aptly named. That's a fantastic. The more time I spend thinking about it, it's aptly named. Are we dating the same person? Are we dating the same guy? Yes, you probably are. Y'all make a habit of doing just that. So 9 times out of 10, or I guess I should say 8 times out of 10, because y'all spend time only dating 10 to 20% of the men, the top tier men. So 8 to 9 times out of 10, y'all are going to be dating the same guy. That's why are we dating the same guy? I don't even know why y'all ask that question at this point. Yes, the answer is going to be yes. Y'all are looking, if you're talking about this stuff, yes, you're going to be dating the same guy because that's what y'all want.
Men weren't raised to regulate emotion. They were raised to ignore it. So when you say you don't feel much, you're not broken. You're not even unusual. You are trained to disconnect, suppress, and trained to power through. But I want you to understand the truth of just how expensive living like that is. That numbness that once so beautifully protected you, it will now ruin your relationships in painful silence. Not because you don't care, I know that you care, but because no one taught you and you haven't mastered how to stay present and vulnerable when it matters most, and quite often is literally the only answer.
The guy here in the comments said, and to be honest with you, this is just my take. I believe that's why women live longer than men. Women let out all of this stuff when men are taught, like you said, to suppress it. What do people think happens when a man's body holds on to all that stuff? Well, there really is no outlet for a man. There isn't. The woman is supposed to be his outlet because he is hers. She tells him things. She cries on his shoulder, boo-hoo, snotting and all that stuff. But then when a man says, I'm having a really tough time, I'm not really sure what's going on, I'm about to break, all of a sudden I can't give that same thing back to you. That's immaturity to me. A man over here in the comments, and he said, whatever you do, remember this. Women love the status you bring them. She is not your equal. You are the man and the leader. The moment you show her weakness, she'll start looking to move on. Your emotions are real and valid. I appreciate that. Find healthy ways to understand them and to grow. She is not in the right place for that help. She will just see you as childish. She is not your mom. And that's, I guess that's what's once again disheartening, is you have to move away from the relationship that you pour into. You know what I mean? You have to move away. You have to find other ways in order to be, I pay for that. I pay into this relationship. With my time, my money, with my resources, with my energy, with my emotions, I buy into it. I invest into it. And the fact that when I need to draw money out of the emotional bank, out of the bank of love, I like that name. Like trademark that. Copyright that. When I have to draw money out of that bank, it's closed. It doesn't have enough funds in there. Insufficient funds of love. Isn't that freaking crazy? Wow. I thought we had plenty of love in there. What happened to the wife took it all. The girlfriend took it all. The fiance took it all. With the boo-hooing and the crying and oh, my life is in shambles. I don't know what's going on. So now I, as a man, got to figure out this is amazing. This is amazing. A lot of men out there are on credit with their emotions. They're on credit with their emotions. If I can't go to the bank and I really need to take out some funds, I really need, and I don't have any more money, I have to go try to get it on credit. Imagine pouring money into the bank over and over again just to come and find out that your bank account is empty. Well, maybe I can go try to get a loan. That's what the bank is going to tell you. That's what your wife is going to tell you. Well, maybe you can go talk to a therapist. Maybe she'll understand. Maybe he'll understand. Maybe he can help you out. I can talk to a therapist, but I kind of want to share this with my significant other, with my spouse. You know, I just don't think that, you know, I can really understand you like that. I don't think that I can really help you that way. I don't think I'm equipped. Maybe you should go talk to a therapist. And so now you're trying to have to outsource your emotions and try to see who can kind of help you out. Can you help me? Can I do it? And you have to get your emotions and your love on credit because she's not giving it to you. That you being able to tell somebody how you feel is absolutely a part of love. That's absolutely a part of love. You're sharing things. But if I can't go to my woman with that, who can I go to? And at the end of the day, this is what's happening with a lot of men and to a lot of men. They use up all of their credit. They use up all their credit trying to figure out, where can I get love today? From this, from that. Y'all need to learn how to share your emotions. I can go to the gym. I can go fishing. I can do all of these things to relax myself, you know, especially when I'm single. But I shouldn't have to when I'm in a relationship. That defeats the point of a major part of the relationship is companionship. If I can't share with my companion, what the heck am I doing here? That's how a lot of men feel. And at the end of the day, if I can't share that and I got to keep on getting this love on credit, at some point in time, I'm going to go bankrupt. There's going to be no more love for me. There's going to be no more credit for me. And I think you can guess what happens after that. Why is the rates of men eliminating themselves so high? I wonder. The man in the comments just said, find healthy ways to understand your emotions are right. They're valid. You're thinking the right way, man. They're valid. What you saw is what you saw. I know modern women try to gaslight you, but what you saw is what you saw. That's what's inside of you. But instead of accepting it, they say, no. Even if you did see that, I can't help you with it. What kind of man would want to live with a woman like that?
Guys, the dating scene for me in Chicago versus New York is so vastly different. When I was living in Chicago, my dating life was popping off. I was seeing a new man every week. My Hinge was exploding. I was meeting people at the bars every night. I just felt like there was an abundance of attractive men that were eligible. They were everywhere. I moved back to New York. I'm like, where are they? My Hinge is dead. No likes. It's like, okay, what's going on? I changed my settings. Still nothing. And I think a lot of this has to do with, I don't know. I literally don't know. Maybe it's the fact that the Midwestern men gravitate towards me because I'm also a Midwestern girly. And they're like, oh, we really resonate on that level because we have something in common. Here, it just feels like I'm throwing a net into the oblivion and nothing is coming back. I don't know. Maybe people are too busy here. Maybe people are too involved in their careers. I don't know. Do you know how hard it is to like get a date off the apps and actually get it in person? Nobody replies. What is up with that? Everybody in Chicago was hitting my line and being like, do you want to go out tonight? Like there was more, there was just more going on. So I'm curious to hear any other perspectives on that in dating versus Midwest versus the East Coast.
One dude in the comments said the girls in NYC are much hotter and more successful than those in Chicago. The competition is extremely high. I don't know how true that is. I know in New York, man, they don't ever sleep at all. I don't even know how to be awake, to be honest with you. Night is day in New York, and day is also day in New York. It's the weirdest thing. Somebody else said Midwest 10 is a New York 6. That's sad but true. Then again, Midwest 5. Midwest 5 is a San Francisco 9. Move to San Francisco. Them folks just might be busy. And it's very harsh in New York. And I feel like in Chicago, it's a little bit slower pace. Like, even though in a city, obviously you're going to be hustling, but New York, man, them boys are just on a different level of hustle. Like I said, I don't understand it. So you thinking that you just move to a different city and you just gonna pick them up left and right? Them boys, they own it. You might want to go back onto the house and find some luck there. Sometimes we take L.
We have some messages we're going to read together, right? This is a guy texting his woman a happy birthday. So he says, "Happy birthday, baby. I love you. Everything about you, from your smile to your ambition, one of the most loyal women I have ever met. And enjoy your day, and I'll see you later." He sends her $1,000 for her birthday. Okay, so her response is, "I appreciate Cavante." Oh, they're definitely black. "But it just seems like you're doing the bare minimum these days." The bare minimum. $1,000. "We've been together almost 7 years, and all I get is $1,000. But I do truly thank you, but I'm sending it back. I was taught to not accept the minimum from men. You're making great money, so I was expecting more." She sends the $1,000 back. Now, the funny part about all of this, right? I guarantee it's one of her friends in her ear telling her, "Oh, $1,000 and he makes this much amount of money." They're pocket watching, of course. "In 7 years and stuff like that, you should have been doing more." You don't know if that man was going to propose to you, marry you this same day on your birthday, but your ignorance got the best of you. And you said, "Hey, $1,000 ain't shit to me. I'm going to send it back." I don't know anybody on planet Earth right now who somebody will send them $1,000, they're like, "Nah, I'm good," and send it back. To you, my brother, you dodged a fucking bullet. Imagine marrying a woman like this, coming home, and say instead of $1,000, you give her $10,000. Some strange way she's gonna make up in her head, "Oh, that's the bare minimum. You gotta send more." See, these entitled women is gonna be the death of y'all. If your man sends you $1,000 on your birthday and said, "I'll see you later, I'll see you later," you don't know what the fuck he's gonna have planned later for you. Man, y'all wonder why I say this. And you want to get married. Pack it up.
$1,000, your friend just talked you out of $1,000. You could have bought some of those red bottoms, or at least put a good down payment on some red bottoms. You could have bought some J's. You could have went out and had you 2 or 3 expensive dinners. You could have went and got a new TV. You could have put a payment down on your car, on your mortgage, on your student loans. You could have done so much stuff with $1,000. You could have went and got an expensive dinner. You could have got a massage. You got the whole facial, all that other stuff. The cucumbers and the carrots and all that stuff that they do. You could have got all that. You got your nails done, your feet done, your hair done. $1,000. $1,000, bruh. You can't make these modern women happy, man. You can't do it.
Guys, I think I cracked the code on why men ghost me, and I need to share this information with you guys. It's not new information that men always have these perceptions of me. They want to put me in these boxes, and it drives me crazy because they're just trying to convince themselves that I am this way, but really am such a complex person. This I've always known, but this is the reason why they ghost me, I think. Men perceive me one of 3 ways.
So let me make this before she finishes what she's saying. This is her Instagram, and it looks like, oh, New York Fashion Week. She's creative. She's got a lot of different looks going on. Here she is at the beach, as you can see right here. Right, I don't know what's going on with these jeans right here. I don't know what's going on with that fit. That's weird. I'm not talking about hers. I'm talking about the person in the background. Whatever. So you guys see you out here on the beach. Okay. So you like to get out, party, have fun. Okay, cool. America and all of the women in it. God bless America, they said. Here you are on the beach. So I know you like to travel. Okay. What else do you have? Just blah, 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 blah. It's nothing else. There's nothing else besides that. Okay. Let me see. So you'll see the range of who she is. This is, I don't know what's going on with this, but this is weird. But, you know, I like to play dress up. Very artistic, very creative. So you're kind of like, even with the kind of the color of these right here, right? So it's, oh, I see San Diego Zoo. So you're in LA. All right. Well, in Cali. Okay. So this is kind of the epitome of who she is right here. Because it's just, well, you know, I think she did this. She's not actually in the photo, but it's a very creative vibe. So that's probably what's seeping out of you. It's like the creativity, the just kind of go with the flow. I'm a fashion girly here. Budweiser is again, as you can see, party girl. She's saying she's not a party girl, but she's doing a lot of party girl things. So I feel like just looking at these things, very fashion forward, very creative. Liberal is not the word that I'm looking for, but kind of a weird concept and a weird outlook on life. So this is going to be for a certain person. I see that you like sticking your behind out. I know that. And you smoke. Yikes. For me, by the way. I know people smoke, but that's not for me. Some people like that type of stuff. So anyway, I'm going to leave it right here and see what she has to say.
One, I typically meet men when I'm like out, so they get like dumb, silly, bimbo, party girl vibe, and I'm like, that's not me. Except it is me, it's a part of me, but like there is a much more complex person there as well. I also will sometimes get like sexy, crazy, like blow up your phone, embarrass the fuck out of myself for a man. I get that perception a lot. And I'm like, oh my God, babe, that's so not me.
Yeah, I'm returning to her page here. She's really not all that complex. They see me as this party girl. I mean, here you are. Here you are. Sorry about that. I think you can see it now. Here you are. Looks like a party. Yep. That looks like a party. Party right there. You see me as this wild and out of control girl. Whoop. You are on a yacht or a boat or something like that. Yep. Oh, there you are again, on a boat. Nothing matters. Look, here you are again at a party. Modeling. Look, here you are again on a boat with alcohol in your hand. Y'all are getting what I'm saying? I hope you guys are getting what I'm saying. Up, here you are again on a boat. Up. It almost giving me like OF. Like let the good times roll. Like this is not really all that complex. Like I said in my other one, she's a creative person, right? So this is not necessarily a party, but it's out. It's out and about. You know what I mean? Like I'm always outside. I'm very social. I'm not somebody that likes to be inside. That in and of itself comes with its own personality that a lot of men are going to be turned off by. It's really trying to portray, because you're creative, you're trying to portray so many different faces you know, and that tattoo on her arm, that's an interesting tattoo right there, actually. But you're trying to portray, you're a person, I think, that likes to explore a lot of different sides of themselves. You feel different things, you feel different emotions, and so you want to explore. This is what this is. You want to. So this is supposed to be elegant. This is like elegance. My hair is slicked back. This looks like it's in a club, a gentleman's club, to be honest with you. But that's neither here nor there. So that's one part of you, right? But then you've got the black lipstick on, and that's another expression of yourself. And then you have the same thing. You're in a pumpkin patch, you know. So I'm out and I'm bubbly. Well, it has to do with Halloween, so it kind of goes back into the dark side of you there. I don't know what this is. I'm feeling sexy. I'm feeling cute, right? Once again, out here on the beach or out here in the water, just hanging out with friends, and your hair color is obviously telling people what you're about. So once again, it's not too complex. We've got a little twerk going on here with a Corona and like a little drink over here. So men can pretty much, with a decent degree of accuracy, tell what you're about. You know, it's not going to be too hard to figure out what they're looking at, right? Once again, here in the club, out and about. I'm a party girl, but then I'm not. I'm wild and crazy, but then I'm not. Yeah, you are. You just, once again, you're very artistic. You're very creative minded. And so there's a lot of different, you just use fashion in order to kind of show and express different parts of what you're feeling in the moment. And you kind of go with that. Now a man is going to say, okay, I need to get a baseline of who you are. Well, they put me in these boxes, this and that. And I'm so much more than that. Nobody's saying that you aren't something. They're just saying consistently, outside of these photo shoots and party things, you're one way. This is the person who she is most of the time. Now she likes to be this, or she likes to go and do this, and she really likes getting into character like this, but most of the time she is this. And when I find out I don't like this, then I stop talking to her. That's really what it comes down to.